So, people, help us out for this one. What do we do here? We are facing by far one of the most popular melodies of the past 30 years. Of course, if you're watching it close to this July 2024, then you agree to the date. But going back to it, since the mid 1990s, Conte Partirò by Andrea Bocelli has been one of the most popular melodies ever written, with a huge undeniable success in North America, Latin America, and Europe. So mainly the Western world, a huge undeniable success. And our season 7 is about the most popular arias ever, where we have included not only opera arias, but some Mexican Latin American music and Napolitan songs. So the question here, and this is where we need your help, is in understanding whether we should be including this one as part of our season 7. This one of the most popular songs of the past 30 years, deserves to be part of a season where we have melodies from Verdi, Puccini, Bellini, Donizetti, Bizet, Gounod, part of the list where we have the greatest and some popular music, Mexican and Napolitan music. That's the question that I would like you to please help us out in defining this dilemma because Kat and I have our own perspectives and we haven't reached an agreement on that. So please help us. You can vote for this poll. The poll is you can find it on our YouTube channel, Opera We Love Singing. You will find the poll there. It will be open for maybe 5, 7 days so that you can vote. But I would like to provide you with some information not only saying that it is one of the most popular songs of the past 30 years. Um, we need to mention that Andrea Bocelli, that also for many people, Andrea Bocelli, even though his tessitura, of course, he is a tenor, for many people, Andrea Bocelli does not really belong to the elite of the tenors, so he's seen as a second or lower level of a singer, not as a serious, in quotes, a serious opera singer, even though, of course, you can find his records on the most popular opera arias he has also sung, but many don't consider Bocelli as a serious singer. Uh, but also, let's remember that only Andrea Bocelli has sung it. He has sung it with huge success as well with Sarah Brightman. That those versions are in English and they are called "Time to Say Goodbye." And there is also a version in Spanish, mainly by Bocelli, that is named "Por ti volaré." And so those are the three names that this is more known. Conte partirò, por ti volaré, or time to say goodbye. By the way, the versions in Spanish and English really change the content of the lyrics of the original Conte partirò. But well, that will be discussed if the majority of the votes favor that this should be part of our season 7, the most popular arias. So I also wanted to share with you that in this dilemma, there are two positions. One that we may say more academic, that says that the composers, the style, and Andrea Bocelli himself are not classical in from an academic point of view, which could be true for the composers. Hardly ever or nobody knows them in the classical world. They are not part of the elite of classical composers. That would be true. But that could also be said about Agustin Lara. When Agustin Lara composed, he composed mainly for the people, for people on the streets. Agustin Lara, the Mexican composer that has made two of his songs in our season 7, know that Agustin Lara is not a fine, a refined, and academic composer. That his songs made it, it is true, but he was not. And you can notice that by reading his music and noticing that he is not an academic composer. So the same thing that is put on the composers of Conte Partirò is the same scene for the example that I just shared on the Mexican composer Agustin Lara, and that could be the same case for many of the composers of Neapolitan music. Neapolitan music is popular music, is song that was written for people on the streets, for people who do their common everyday lives, who could sing it while commuting somewhere. That is how that music was originated. That lately it was taken by most of the greatest voices of the opera world. That is true. But that song was born, that music was born pretty much in the same way that it was born the Conte Partiro. So from that perspective, from that side, they say this is way too popular, too vulgar. It doesn't meet the standards. That's what one of the of in this dilemma, that's one what one of the sides says. But the other side says, and what is wrong about it? If there are many other popular songs, really popular songs by not academic composers who are now considered part of a classical recital or concert by any soprano or tenor or baritone, why cannot we include Conte Partiro? It made its way on popularity. Why would we put it apart only from an academic point of view? And we here we have to be very careful with what our thoughts are, because if we accept that standard academic point of view of discrediting anything that does not come from from that academic reputed composers, then we would need to discard a good number of Latin American music. We may even discard a good number of musicals, of American musicals could be discarded. We would need to discard most of Neapolitan music. And just to tell you how all those concerts where the sopranos and tenors sing Christmas music would also need to be discarded, because everybody knows that music composed for Christmas is popular music. So the thing here is that we have to cut everything with the same scissors. If we are very strict, then we need to leave out all of those. What we cannot do is to use one position in favor of this music and use a different scale for a song like Conte Partirò. So, to round this question, this decision, if you vote, this decision will not reside on Katia and on me. If you vote on our YouTube channel, find the poll for this question: should we make Conte Partirò part of season 7, the most popular arias? Should this be part of this season 7 poll at Opera Wheel of Singing? We need your votes. If people vote, then we will base our decision on that. We will respect what most people decide. That everybody knows the melody, everybody knows the melody. Con te partirò, tra la 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 la, tra la 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 la. The decision is on your hands.